Hey guys, what's up? Today is April 14th, 2021. All right, so this is my third time trying to record this video. Every time I get started, someone calls my phone. So I've put it on mute. So hopefully I'm not interrupted. So today I want to talk about something and it's savings. So one of the things that you've heard me say a few times here lately is that you need to be saving as much money as possible. So this idea came to my mind. The question, I guess I should say, what should I do as I'm waiting? Because I have a lot of clients that are waiting right now for the right opportunity to jump into the market to put a contract on a home. So as you remember, there are two things that I suggested you do during this time. One was to save as much money as possible, given the market that we're in. Sellers aren't really offering concessions these days. So you're pretty much going to pay asking price at the very least. A lot of deals now or contracts are going above asking price, and you're going to pay your own closing costs. So save as much money as possible. So that's one thing. And the other thing was to work on your credit score. Just get your credit score as high as possible. So this section or this session, I want to focus on saving. So what can you do to save as much money as possible in as little time as possible? So I want to talk about budgeting today. It's typically a dirty word for a lot of people, but you'd be surprised to know that all of us budget. So regardless of if you have something written down or not, you budget. There's a certain amount of money you have at your disposal, whether it's cash or even credit. There's only a certain amount you have, and you have to decide every month what you're going to spend, what you're going to purchase and what you're not going to purchase, because you can't afford to get everything that you want, right? So we typically prioritize. So we look at the things that we have to have and we pay for those. And then we look at the things that we want to have and we prioritize, which ones we want the most, because we can't get everything. So that is budgeting. So you're taking a look at what you have available and determining what your expenses are and selecting the things that you're going to purchase and not purchase, what you're going to get now, what you're going to delay. That is budgeting. So one of the things that we want to do is make sure that your budget is written. Okay, because we know if we don't control our money, guess what? Our money will control us. So we don't like to be controlled. So budgeting is a way to where you can get control of your money now. And we know as good stewards that we need to be directing where our money goes. So one of the things or one of the programs that I have really become a fan of, it's Dave Ramsey's zero-based budget. It's the best budgeting platform, so to speak, that I've studied and that I've utilized. So I want to share that with you. It's very simple. So I'm going to share my screen. Hold one second. Can't believe it's taking me this long to share the screen. There we go. Okay. There it is. All right. So we're going to talk about the zero-based budget, the zero-based budget. So basically what a zero-based budget is, the intent is to assign a job for every dollar that you make, every dollar that you make. So at the end of the month, every dollar that you've taken in, you have assigned it somewhere. So at the end of the month, you should have a zero on your balance sheet. So let's break it down a little more. All right. So how do you create a zero-based budget? So you start with your income. Number one, how much money do you bring in a month? You list all of your expenses. Those are going to be your fixed expenses. Those are going to be discretionary expenses. Whatever you have to spend money on, you want to list all of those things on a monthly basis. So then you're going to subtract your expenses from your income. And number four, you're going to track your expenses. All right. So let's break it down a little more. All right, so we start with our income. Whatever amount you make, that's what's going to go there. That's the simple part. Then you're going to list all of your expenses. Now, one of the concepts that I love to preach is making sure that you pay yourself first. A part of all I earn is mine to keep. Maybe if you've heard that from what's that book? Richest Man in Babylon. So anytime that you get paid, you need to be paying yourself first. So a portion of everything that you earn is yours to keep. That needs to be going into your savings. Now, my rule of thumb is 10%. So at least 10% of everything that I earn, obviously 10% is going back to the Lord in tithing. I believe in tithing. So that'll be giving on here. And then savings. So at least 10% of everything that I earn is going to my savings account. All right, so those are given up front. So basically you have 80% left if you adhere to that. So you see here, they have the rent listed, they have utilities, groceries, restaurants, transportation, insurance, miscellaneous. There, you may have some other items on here. I love to have a miscellaneous field because there's always some things that I don't expect that I'm going to have to spend money on. So I like to put a little money aside just for those miscellaneous things. So if it's not on your monthly budget, you don't need to be spending the money on. All right. So every expense you have needs to be planned. That's the whole intent, controlling your money, controlling your expenses. All right. So once you detail all of your expenses and you subtract it from your income, you should have $0. Now, what if you don't have $0? All right. If you have a negative amount, okay, that's a problem. You're in the red. That means your expenses outweigh, what you're bringing in. So you're underwater, so to speak. That is a problem that you're going to have to deal with. You're going to have to go in and adjust your expenses to at the very least come to zero. Now, what we hope to see is that, your income is more than your expenses. So whatever that additional amount is left should be going to savings. All right. Now, we have some other concepts that I'm not going to get into as far as emergency savings and things like that. We're just going to focus on the budget today. So that's what a zero-based budget is. Now, once you get into budgeting, it's very important to track your expenses. That was number 4, right? So there's no good to have something written down on paper if you don't track it to see how well you're adhering to what you have on paper. So there's a platform that I like to use. It's called Mint, M-I-N-T, Mint. It's a free app that you can go in and link your bank account, your credit cards, debit card, everything you can link in there. And anytime you spend money, it's going to log it into the system. And then you can go in there and you can put it under what subject it needs to go under, whether it's rent, whether it's your utilities, groceries, whatever. You go in there after any transaction that you make, and you can kind of identify where it belongs. It's very easy. It's the easiest thing that I've ever done as far as budgeting and tracking expenses is concerned. So Mint, M-I-N-T, check it out. It's very easy. This is something that you can be doing right now while you're waiting. You can be working on your budget. Make sure that it's written. And then once it's written, you want to track those expenses to see how well you're doing. If you're not doing so well, then you have to make adjustments. So your budget is not going to be perfect. Remember that. Your budget is never going to be perfect. You're always going to be making minor adjustments until you get it where it needs to be. So don't be discouraged if you make a mistake, if you overspend, if you underspend, whatever, just start the process. So you start, then you can start to make improvements to get you where you need to be. All right, so that's the basis, the premise of a zero-based budget. Once you begin to control your expenses, you'll begin to see how much money that you can save. You'd be amazed at how many people I talk to and they say, well, I only spend $500 a month. Well, how much you make? I make $1,500 a month. All right, so the last 6 months, that means you save $6,000. Well, no, I don't got no, well, where's the $6,000? A lot of people don't know where that money is going. So as a good steward, we need to know where our money is going. And having a budget is one of the ways that we can keep track. So you want to have that budget and you want to track your expenses. Now, once you set that out, at the end of the month, you're going to see where you end up on each category. You said your groceries are $525. You may see that I spent $700. Obviously, that's an area of improvement for you. All right, so then you're going to go through your, the things that you purchase on a monthly basis and see what you can do with them, because you need to get back to your $525. The great thing about Mint is you can go in every day and kind of see where you are in relation to your budget. So basically, a best practice is if you're outspending your grocery budget, let's say by $50, then you should be able to go into your budget and take that $50 from someplace else. All right, so let's just say if you put that this person had, well, let's just say if you had an restaurant budget. I don't recommend that. It's a waste of money. But if you like to go out to eat, you set aside $150 a month to go out to eat. So if you've overspent your grocery budget by $50, maybe you want to take that $50 back from your restaurant portion of your budget. So you don't just outspend, but you seek someplace else where you can take that money from, because the most important thing is to stick to your budget. Now, I'm saying a lot of this stuff and you may be confused, but once you start doing it, it will all come to light, okay? So just start, write out your budget, write out your zero-based budget, sign up for Mint, connect all of your cards and everything else like that, begin to track your expenses, and then it will begin to make sense to you. Now, once you've done all of that, then you can go in here and you can determine, where can I make improvements? All right, maybe I don't need $525 a month for my grocery budget. I'm going to try to cut that to 500. My ultimate goal is to get it to 350, but I'm going to take $50 off next month and see how that looks. So you make incremental changes because you want to minimize the expenses that you spend out every month. Now, one of the things that this will do is you will know the money that you spend because you're going to set it aside every month. And it's going to kind of motivate you to get out of debt. You're going to say, man, if I didn't have this car payment, man, if I didn't have this, if I didn't have that, I could be saving so much more money. So it's going to get you into that mindset of self-improvement, seeing how you can improve your finances. So it all starts with the beginning. So please begin. This is one of the things that you can do while you wait. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. So that's one of the things that you can do while you wait. Get your budget, minimize your expenses, start saving as much as possible. All right, so we'll talk about credit on another video. Hope you guys have a great day. As you know, it's my goal to help as many people as possible reach their home ownership goal. If you know anyone that's looking to buy or sell a home, please consider referring me. As always, may God bless you. Heaven continually smile on you. I'll talk to you guys later. Have a great day.